VR headsets. If you guys didn't know, VR is one of my favorite things, and it has been since I was a very little kid. And this right here is the Meta Quest 3. It is the latest VR headset from Meta. But we're not here to talk about the headset itself today. We're here to talk about one of its glaring flaws. The battery life. You see, these things drain really quickly. And that's why, for the longest time, I've been using these rechargeable battery packs by BoboVR. And you have to have a specialized strap to use them and everything. But the sucky thing about this model in relation to the Quest 3 is that, well, this model wasn't designed for the Quest 3. They basically took the same framework of the Quest 2 model, including the original power management system and battery pack, and then retrofitted it to have the right arms to clip onto the headset itself, which means these batteries don't have enough power to fully charge this thing while you're using it. So today, I provide a solution. The BoboVR S3 and BD3 ecosystem. See, these things are purpose designed to be used with the Quest 3, unlike the Quest 2 battery packs that I used from my old setup. Now, everything I bought is not here. You know, I actually ordered these a couple months ago and they're shipped straight from China. So I'm still waiting for the extra batteries to come. But I do have the head strap and the battery dock themselves. We'll unbox this second. First, let's check out the docking station. You gotta undo this peel here, then it flicks up. Now, props on BoboVR for the presentation of this. It looks wonderful. And here we have the brand new triple battery docking station. See, they had to make an entire new system to charge and transmit power between the batteries and the strap and the docking station, all because they draw more power and they put out more power. Meaning, yes, they have more wattage, they can handle more work, but that does mean that the original battery packs don't work with this dock. In fact, I've got one here. See, it doesn't even fit. You know? Like that's not right. But what I have also noticed is that while previous iterations of this device came with a battery in this box with the dock, this one doesn't. I'm a little frustrated, honestly. I feel a little bit cheated because if I remember correctly, it said it would come with it on the website. But luckily I have 2 extra batteries coming anyway. And they should be here in a few weeks, I think. The reason why the wait time is so long is because I actually order straight from the manufacturer instead of through Amazon, because Amazon has a lot of supply chain issues with this company for some reason. But their products are worth the wait because of just how nice the fit and the finish is, and how, well, honestly, nothing does it as well as they do. You can see that nice anti-slip pad there. It's nice and sticky too. It's got a really cool little finish and everything. The original one did too, but not nearly as intricate. I'm going to leave that face up for now so I don't have to worry about it getting all dirty. And then here we have the actual charging cable, which I'm kind of frustrated this didn't come with a block, but the original one didn't either. So I will probably wind up just plugging this into a power supply I have lying around. And now it's on to the main event. They're always so good about their presentation. And here we have it. So here's the strap itself. You see it just kind of flicks out. It's got this nice little fan built right into it. It says it's a built-in air conditioner, but really it's just a nice little air circulation fan. A lot of companies overhype little features like that. Oh, looks like they added detents to the adjustment socket, the adjustment sliders. I'm not really a huge fan of that, but I might get used to it. They did a really good job with the adjustment knob, as always. That's one thing that these guys always get right, is that nice ratchet knob. And you can see this new dock here. And time to check out the battery itself. the B100. The original batteries were called the B2s, but this is the B100. It feels girthier, and I guess that makes sense given the fact that it's supposed to charge up to 15 watts if I remember correctly. Yeah, 15 watts. While I believe the original is only charged up to 12 watts. Ooh. Yeah, it clips in really, really nicely. And supposedly, unlike the last generation, these will actually have like notifications for if the battery is getting low. The original one didn't have that, and I actually ended up having a lot of sessions cut short because of that. Now, I noticed the back pad here, it's a little bit, just a little bit smaller than in previous generations, so I don't know if this is going to fit my greasy head. But I always do like to swap out one of the pads for the nice included honeycomb one that comes with it. I think this one goes on the bottom actually, because it just keeps it from slipping around. Now, props to them for doing well with like having the silicone framework. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a lot more comfortable than the plastic one they've been using. Now this part's always really tough to line up the Velcro so that it's nice and seamless. But after a try or two, you can usually get it. And I'm almost there. There we go. Now it's all nice and put together. I am a little frustrated that this didn't come with a second battery pack like the last generation did. Feel kind of cheated. But you can see these just kind of lock in. It's nice and sturdy too, and they have like a cooling system to cool the batteries down while they charge. That's actually really cool. And it said that this is supposed to charge up to 100 watts. I don't actually have anything that charges that fast. So yeah, in here, if you click this, it tells you what the battery percentage is. Let me peel this real quick. There we go. If I just pop this in here, it says it's at 26%. And I can turn on the fan here, and you can control it using this dial. That's kind of what it sounds like. That's really cool. I think I might be using that. I don't know for sure. But yeah, so I will definitely have to give this a moment to charge, but if this can reliably sustain my play sessions from now on, instead of what the B2 was doing, which wasn't all that much, like sure, it lengthened my sessions significantly, but on the original Quest 2, I could go non-stop, like days, and it wouldn't drop below 100%. Because that's just how the batteries were designed. But now we have something that's supposed to be an equivalent for the Quest 3. And hopefully I get my batteries in the mail so that I can infinitely hot swap like I used to. So now I'm going to go ahead and put it on the device so you can kind of see what we're working with. Taking off the old strap here. Putting on the new strap here. Ooh, it looks like they actually got the color matching right on this generation. On previous generations it was slightly off, and it always used to frustrate me. And yeah, so it just kind of slides on, you know? And then the plug just goes right there. And boom! And if you press this button, you can see it's at below the 75% line. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the charge, and I'll get back to you when it's time to use it. I will actually, now that I think about it, I think it'd be a good idea to show you what the dock looks like in action. So give me but a moment. So, it'll tell you how many watts it's charging at. Or is that the percentage? Let me get this peel off. Yeah, so it's telling us how many watts it's charging at, and its percentage. So it's not charging at full speed, sadly, because I've just got it plugged into my laptop right now for the test. But yeah, this thing's supposed to go up to 100 watts. I hope I can find something that charges at that capacity so I can actually do this. And I guess I'll just wait for this thing to charge up after I plug it into a higher wattage charger. I'll get back to you once it's ready. Alright, so a little development. I got the B100s. It took an extra week or so. I've actually been working on other video projects in that time period. Also, yes, I know, the mat was crooked in the last shot. I didn't notice that at the time. I would have fixed it if I had, but I had filmed 2 videos already that day, so I was already a little tired. But anyway, I want to share with you the information that I've discovered. So, the B100 battery pack, it charges the device a lot faster and a lot more consistently. See, with the B2s, I would oftentimes lose 5 to 10% per hour. Meanwhile, with the B100s, I lose 1 to 2% per battery. Meaning that since these things charge faster than they discharge, you can infinitely hot swap like you did with the Quest 2. So it's back! They brought it back, and I am so happy. Meaning this is the ultimate solution. Now, something I was doing before was I actually retrofitted a B2 dock onto the back here. So what I would do was I would pop a B100 up here, then pop a B2 in here, and then plug the B2 directly into the B100 so that this thing would continually power this thing. Then, because I couldn't hot swap these, I just keep swapping these as they died. I won't have to do that anymore, although I will keep this installed because it may be useful in the future. Who knows? But yeah, so I'm really happy about that. I actually got 2 of these in the mail, so this would be 3 total. I've already unboxed 1 because I wanted to have it charged. But yeah, in my experience, the B100 gets about 3.5 to 4 hours of playtime added to your session per pack. The B2 gets you about an hour and a half at most. And it takes about 2 hours to charge. So you lose 30 minutes every single time you use these, meaning eventually you will still run out of juice. My maximum with these was about 13 hours. Meanwhile with these, I can foresee this being an infinite swap situation like with the Quest 2 and the B2 setup. However, I feel like it's time that we unbox this B100 battery pack so you can see what we're looking at. Of course, after you take off the sleeve, there's this sticker here. And once you get the sticker off, you simply dislodge the top, which is always a little hard because the way they do it makes it really hard to preserve the packaging. You pretty much will definitely tear it every time. I managed to do it properly with the other one, but it took a lot of time. And then it comes with a short little Type-C cable, as all of them do. And of course a manual. And then inside the box you have the B100. And you know, we've already seen that, you already kind of know what we're dealing with here. But honestly, having the 3 packs is going to be really useful. Overall though, I am really happy with how things are going. And I'm actually going to share with you some insight as to how things have changed. So overall, the new strap has a better fit, it's more comfortable, and it has a nice and premium design. See, I like this smooth, soft design here rather than the harsh, chunky one with the metal discs. And I also do really like this little display here that'll tell you exactly how much the battery has left. It's very useful in long sessions. It does, however, lose the swappable battery talk. See, in the previous generation, this just screwed in, but this is kind of molded to this back cup here and wired directly into the head strap, meaning you can't really replace it. So if they upgrade battery standards again, this thing's not getting replaced. The AC here doesn't, it's almost too cold in my opinion. You know, I personally don't like having cold on me all the time. So I've actually got it angled so it fires directly down into the headset and cools the device itself, giving me better performance. Now, with the loss of that swappable battery dock, we do get better cable management, because in previous iterations of this head strap, there were loose cables everywhere and you had to essentially zip tie or Velcro tie them down, which I had done. Now, of course, I messed that up, obviously, by adding another cable to manage, but it does route pretty nicely. So if you want to do this mod yourself, it's not hard. However, I'm pretty sure this dock is discontinued now. Now, on the topic of cables, you'll see the previous iterations of this head strap came with a braided cable. However, this new version comes with a normal rubberized cable. Personally, I don't have a problem with this, as braided cables oftentimes make a lot more noise if they rub on things, but it's still something that a lot of people hold a preference for, and if that's a deal breaker for you, I understand. And the most important thing is that in the B2, the chime was inside the battery itself. However, in here, the chime is actually in these little vents here, meaning when the battery dies, it'll tell you. It'll beep at you saying, hey, battery's about to die, you may want to swap it. In the previous iterations, it did not, and that was something that made me lose a lot of session time during longer sessions, because I wouldn't realize that the battery died, and that my headset would be draining. Now, with the B100, you get 3.5 to 4 hours on a single charge, and it charges in about an hour and a half if you have the right wattage. It is heavier than the B2, and it's bigger than the B2 as far as footprint goes. However, it does lose that curve, which means that it's a little bit, I guess, thinner, you could say. It loses the live battery indicators while in use, because the LCD screen replaces that. This is more of a charge indicator on here, meanwhile this is a monitor that'll tell you. So I feel like, yeah, it is a feature that's lost, but it's not a deal breaker if you ask me. And with one of these packs, like was included with the headset itself, you get about 5 to 6 hours of runtime with no replacement swaps. And that's including this and the Quest 3's battery itself. Now, with software updates or different settings, you could get longer times, but I'm talking about default settings here. I did a lot of very strenuous testing on the headset and myself, because as you can imagine, when you're not prepared for a 16-hour session of VR, it can be taxing. Now, the B2. Like I said before, you get about 45 minutes to an hour and a half of charge added to the play session, and you lose a lot more percentage per pack. However, it is lighter. It's smaller, but like I said, you get that curve there, which means it can be a little bit harder to pack into things. And it retains the live battery updates, which is, it's nice because you can just pull the pack out and look at it and pass through. But you can kind of do the same thing here with the B100 if you press the button. And total runtime with this is about 3.5 to 4 hours with no swaps, but you will be losing battery while you're playing with this during your session. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like this is the premier head strap to get with this headset. And honestly, I'm glad that I was able to pre-order it. It did arrive a lot later than I expected it to. And that makes sense because I didn't get a review unit. But all in all, it's a really nice little package. I really love this company. If you want any sort of strap or accessory to use with your Quest 2 or Quest 3, this is the company you check first, because they will never let you down. Now, of course, you still have your other companies that you can take a look at, but personally, I will always lean into BoboVR's catalog first before I do anything else. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you found it informative, and yeah, until next time, deuces.